Coach Peter Sirmon here with us. Go ahead and put the questions in the chat, and we'll go from there. We'll start. First question for Pete is from Jeff Verado with SI.
Good morning, Coach. How you doing?
Good morning. How are you, Jeff?
I'm fine. We've asked you before about your nephew as a quarterback for the Huskies, but your son Jackson is a starting linebacker. Just talk about how proud you are of him, and if you've been able to exchange, at least have conversations with him, just related to what he's been doing.
Yeah, I'm really proud of how he's worked. He's always been a hardworking person. Football is important to him, so I'm happy that he's getting the opportunity, to earn that position, and it's up to him to go out there and continue to perform. And I know he's excited about getting out there.
How, I don't know if difficult or awkward or uncomfortable is it for you to be coaching the other side on Saturday when he's on the field?
I don't know if it's difficult or awkward. I don't necessarily enjoy competing against him. But it's the nature of our sport, and he's a talented young man, and he had the opportunity to play in the conference. So it's exciting to watch him play. We do talk. I can't think of anything in my life or his life that would prevent us from talking. The rivalry certainly will not. So, I try to listen to how he thinks he's doing, like, hey, are you making progress? What are the things you're continuing to work on? Just dad stuff.
Right. I'm wondering how often have you actually gotten to see him play, given your schedule of games, wherever you've been and what he's doing?
Yeah, his senior year, when he was in Brentwood, I was actually very fortunate. I was up in Louisville, and I think I got to see 4 or 5 of his home games. I've seen a couple of his state championship games, so that was great. And then last year, I think I got to maybe 3 or 4. A couple bye weeks coincided with it, so I hopped on a plane and went up there and sat in the stands and had the experience. So. Anytime that the schedule has allowed it, I've done everything I could to get up there and support him.
Very good. Thanks.
Okay, we'll move on to Trace Travers from Rivals.
Hey, Coach. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Yeah, I want to say something that you talked with us about, I think last week or 2 weeks ago, was the breadth of the film that you've watched and trying to understand what Washington does on offense. Can you kind of take us through, maybe not specifics of what you watched, but how far back do you have to go to kind of piece something together?
Yeah, that's a great question, and that's a question we've been kicking around for weeks and months as well. You're always trying to find, kind of the background of the play caller. Mm-hmm. But at the same time that we know there's a lot of really good offensive coaches up there that have won a lot of football games. And we believe that they have a significant input in terms of personnel, vocabulary, the way that have things that have been successful for them. And, that staff has, some significant invested reps into what they've done in the past. And with limited practice and opportunities to kind of expand and to introduce some new things, I think there's a fine balancing act. Since we've had so much time, I've watched a lot of film. It really doesn't matter. Doesn't help for me to say what I've been watching, but I've watched a lot of film, and I feel like I could break down a lot of different conferences and a lot of different games and a lot of different NFL stuff. So it's been fun to keep me busy.
Yeah. And with that, what can you say about Washington's young skill position players? Because it looks like they're relatively young at both tight end, wide receiver, and running back.
Yeah, and they've done a really good job recruiting. I mean, I think they've been one of the top few teams, for the last 4 or 5 years that have recruited talent and developed talent. They had some injuries at the wide receiver, and they got some guys back that missed last year. But some of their young players are dynamic. You get a chance to go back and watch some of the high school film to understand, kind of what they were and kind of what their strengths were and what their skill set is. And then the skill guys, the running back position, we're familiar with Newton and McGrew and Kamari. So those guys have familiarity. Kate Otten, I think, is as good a tight end as there is in college football. Really impressed with his versatility, the way he runs, point of attack. They move him around. So really impressed. I think their skill players are very talented. And I know Coach Huff does a really good job with the offensive line. And they have some new starters. But again, when your program's healthy and you're recruiting well, I think there's some reload opportunities, not rebuilds.
Awesome. Thank you.
Okay, we'll go to Jake Curtis from SI.
Yeah, just getting back to Jackson for a second, Peter. When Cal has the ball, do you have any opportunity to actually watch him?
There will be some brief opportunities, but when Cal has the ball, it's my opportunity to coach, and to correct and to try to look ahead and assist the players. A couple series of what we have seen, what some of the formations could lend themselves to in terms of complementary plays that we could or possibly expect coming up. So it depends on the length of the drive. There might be some opportunities, but I love my son more than anything. But when I'm defensive coordinator, coaching the linebackers, my job is to help this team win. And I'll visit with him after the game, and I got nothing but love and support. But I'm pouring my time and my efforts into helping this team win.
Have you ever been in this situation before where you were coaching a team against your son?
Well, last year he was playing some. Last year I think he played special teams, he played fullback, and he played linebacker in the game. So he played. I think if I remember correctly, he played every side of the ball. So, and then 2 years ago he came down and traveled with the team. Did not participate, so it's happened. This is the third time.
And last thing, do you make an educated guess as far as who the quarterback will be?
Well, there's a lot of oars on that depth chart, so I guess it's going to be 25, 25, 25, 25. So I think there's some educated guesses on what you expect, but it's 2020. I don't know what to expect.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, anybody else give you a final chance for a question, or we'll let Coach go? Okay, seeing none, I think we're good.